The pH of the skin is absolutely critical to management and treatment of acne. Absolutely critical. And the unfortunate thing, I've just seen so much misinformation and also a lot of professionals out there who really have no idea about the skin pH and really what it means. But let me show you, first of all, the skin pH or the pH range goes from 1 to 14. What we're after is that range of 5 to 7 in the middle. And at the bottom of your skin, just above your blood, at the bottom of your skin, it's got a pH of 7, neutral. That's 7, right in the middle. And then as the skin cells go up and flatten out a bit, they become more acidic. So at the surface of the skin, at the top of your skin, you have a pH of 5, mildly acidic. And that's what you want, because that mildly acidic environment creates all the chemical and microbiological things that you need for a healthy skin. And so what we do know is the pH determines the rates of chemical reactions in your skin. So all your skin's reproduction, the production of chemicals in your skin, all determined by the pH. And then we know that the microbes on the skin, which ones live and which ones struggle to survive, is determined by the pH of the skin. So if you've got a pH of 5, you've got the good bacteria. In your gut, you've probably heard of one called acidophilus. That's a probiotic bacteria. Acidophilus means acid-loving. Oh, we'll talk about that later on, okay? But what we've got is these acid-loving microbes support this, are a part of our skin microbiome, and that skin microbiome is supported by the pH up here, which then supports the skin microbiome, and this is a beautiful system. The unfortunate thing is, by these so-called professionals out there, when they say, well, use some benzalkonium chloride because it gets rid of the nasty bacteria, it gets rid of all the bacteria. And so it's getting rid of your good ones, which are altering the pH to make it more acidic. And so it's defeating the purpose in the long run. And so you just keep using it and recycling and using these expensive products. The message is we want to get a balance, a perfect balance, a pH of 5 with the right microbial and the right chemical reactions going on, because that means you're in balance. Now, the ideal skin pH is literally 5, but in women, the pH is 4.5 to 5.5. And in men, the pH is 4 to 5.5. So there's a little bit of variation, but generally we're aiming around about 5, and that's going to be what I talk about in the rest of this. Now, if you've got a pH of around about 7, neutral, that's not great for the skin. It means that the microbes that you want there can't function, and the ones you don't want there actually thrive. And the chemical reactions you want to work aren't working. And so you get an increase in the Cutibacterium acnes, which is the main bacteria associated with acne, as well as Staphylococcus aureus. They both increase. And it upsets or changes the microbiome of the skin to create dysbiosis, getting rid of or reducing the good bacteria. So what we want is that balance of the good bacteria overwhelming the opportunistic, nasty ones. It also increases inflammation. So a pH of 7 increases inflammation, which is the underlying premise behind all of acne. Even the ones they say non-inflammatory acne is still inflammation involved. It decreases the skin barrier. As a result, you've got the transdermal water loss, decrease in hydration, and increase in dry skin as a result of it. It decreases the sebum production. Remember, the chemistry and the microbial parts all work hand in hand together. And it also decreases the skin's immune response. You have an immune system sitting right under the skin, which needs to be communicated from the microbes on the top to the bottom and the chemical from the top to the bottom. And if that's not going on, then the immune system isn't working properly. And as a result, you get the wrong type of bacteria growing there. And as a result of all this, you end up with an increase in things like rosacea, dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis, and the list goes on. And of course, acne. So what we really want to do is work out how to get the skin at a pH of around about 5. The challenge then is how to maintain the skin pH at 5, or at least to get it to 5 and keep it as close to 5 as possible so that the good bacteria can thrive in there. And I've done a little diagram for you so you can see what goes on. So you've got the opportunistic species. These are the ones that contribute to acne, rosacea, dermatitis, all those conditions, like the Cutibacterium acnes and Staph aureus. And these ones like the pH of 7. So they create an environment around them. They release chemicals into the skin and on the skin that keep the pH of around about 7. And that increases the acne and all of the skin conditions, and it increases inflammation. It also poisons the good, healthy skin microbiome. So the healthy skin microbiome gets poisoned. So we go around and it gets in this cycle, increased opportunistic species, pH 7, goes around, increased opportunistic, and it just goes round and round and round. So that we've got the opportunistic species here far outweighing the healthy species, and therefore you've got lots and lots of skin problems. People have said, but how come? I'm doing all the right things. How come my skin continues to break out, or I've got these skin conditions? And it may be the whole pH cycle that I'm talking about here. So fortunately, I'll show you how to break into that cycle and create the positive one. Now on the positive side, you've got your healthy skin microbiome here, and they release chemicals like short chain fatty acids that poison the nasty ones like Cutibacterium and Staph aureus and all the other ones. So they poison it, but they're also short chain fatty acids. So they're acids, and they lower the pH to pH 5. And as a result, you've got decreased acne, rosacea, psoriasis, and so on, decreased inflammation, and you've got an improved immune system, which helps you fight off those conditions as well. It's a win-win-win situation. And as a result of that, it goes up here, and it decreases the opportunistic species, and around we go, healthy microbiome, and we go round and round, and that's what we want. We want to create this cycle here instead of this one, which is going on in most people's skin who have skin problems. Now, to understand what to do, we need to look at things like medicines and antibiotics. Antibiotics can be great short term, but may not be the solution. You'll understand that in a moment. Skin treatments, little spot treatments and salicylic acid and so on, and hold on, that's changing the pH, making it acid, yeah. But what else is it doing? Then you've got things like diet, lifestyle and stress, environment, and of course, gut. All of these factors can alter the skin pH and the cycle, whichever one of those cycles your skin is going to go on. What we're after now is to make sure that we can keep the skin pH at around about 5, which encourages a good, healthy skin microbiome, a diverse skin microbiome. It decreases the acne bacteria and improves wound healing, and it's anti-inflammatory. So any damage done, it's going to fix, and it's going to reduce any more damage because it's anti-inflammatory. So the main treatments you tend to have are things like benzoyl peroxide, and they decrease the skin pH, which is great. They're antimicrobial, but they're not very selective. So they wipe out the good ones and the bad ones. And as you will know, if you've ever been a gardener, once you wipe out everything, the weeds come back first. So probably not good. Bit of spot checking on the garden, that is. And also they're harsh, cause rashes, and can lead to other skin conditions out there. The second one's salicylic acid, less than 2%. And that decreases the skin pH, which is really good. And it's a bit more selective when it comes to antimicrobial treatments. So using either of these, the recommendations are usually once or twice maximum a day, not regularly, not for a long period of time because of their harshness. But when we look at some other solutions out there that might be used either with them or in conjunction with them or on their own, you can find something like aloe vera, which shows up repeatedly in terms of having lots of benefits for skin. First of all, it takes the skin to a pH of 5, which is pretty well ideal. Decreases the acne bacteria, wound healing. There are dozens of studies on the benefits of aloe vera for wound healing and repairing damage done to the skin. Even in burn cases, serious cases with serious wounds and skin damage, aloe vera is very effective and shown to have very positive results. It's anti-inflammatory, and it decreases other skin issues such as rash and rosacea, dermatitis, and so on. Lots of positive benefits for skin. Now, rosemary, an essential oil, you've probably already seen my video on essential oils. Watch this, please. Watch that video, because it'll give you a much greater opportunity to say what other things can be used in conjunction. Now, usually in some of the treatments that have aloe, and there are acne aloe treatments out there, they combine some essential oils like rosemary and like lemon balm and other very, very potent essential oils in acne treatments. But rosemary, it decreases the skin pH, and it decreases not because it's acidic, but it's got something in it called rosmarinic acid. And you'll see this in that video, by the way, on essential oils. And it gets to the bottom of the skin and it causes a reaction there to change the pH from the bottom up, which is really fantastic. And so using aloe and rosemary in conjunction with each other has multiple benefits in terms of the pH of the skin, but also they decrease acne, improve wound healing, anti-inflammatory, and decreases other skin issues. Now, also on the other videos where I was talking about the gut, we found that probiotics, both in the gut and applied to the skin. Now, on the skin, they're probably called parabiotics or postbiotics. These are the probiotics that are literally being killed, but the substances that break off their walls are very, very beneficial. And so some of the skin treatments now use postbiotics, probiotics, parabiotics in combinations because they have so many good properties, much the same as decreased skin issues. They're used in rosacea, dermatitis, and they're anti-inflammatory, they're wound healing, decrease acne bacteria, and they decrease the skin pH. So you've got a bit of an idea of a strategy that you can use with not so many harsh toxic chemicals. And then it comes down to, in terms of the skin pH, what does washing do? And unfortunately, regular washing with just water, if you do it repeatedly and you're washing continually every couple of hours, every 3, every 4 hours, day in, day out, your skin takes on, the outer part of your skin at least, takes on the pH of the product that you're using to wash. So if you're washing with water, you may have a skin pH up around about 7 for about up to 6 hours later. And 7 is not the ideal one. So what bacteria are going to be breeding on your skin? And they breed every 15 minutes or so. So you're going to end up with a lot of bacteria just by washing with water. Now, it gets worse if you wash with soaps because they often have a pH of around about 8. You need to understand that anything you put on your skin has to have the right pH, otherwise it's going to become the breeding ground of the wrong type of bacteria. Basic chemistry, basic pH science. So 2 times a day, the studies have shown that if you use this 2 times a day for a couple of days, it ends up causing some long-term changes. So using soaps or any alkaline cleanser, you don't want to do. So make sure you know the pH, because again, the pH controls what microorganisms grow in there. And the microorganisms that grow in there, remember the little chart I put up for, the microorganisms then determine the pH, and we want to get that positive one going. Now, on top of that, there are other factors out there, really important factors that will determine the pH. And I've mentioned these in, again, the other videos that I've got on acne on my YouTube. Check them out. And these include sugar, milk, meat, and alcohol, all increase the skin pH. So they all lead to an environment that becomes more prone for the acne bacteria to be able to breed, grow, and reproduce. If you've liked this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel because I'm putting lots more information out there.